Exterminate the Gorgonites! Kill them all!
Thus came the end to every freedom known to Gorgonites. And now the war is coming here, to Gorgon, our homeworld. And we can either wait patiently, build our reserves, and fashion our weapons, or we can go out to meet it. Now let the battle begin!
What's up, you guys? Friendly Neighborhood Geek here, doing another action figure review. This time on a collectible that I didn't think I would get, at least as of now. This probably would have been something I would have picked up down the line, but the seller got this on eBay. The seller sold it to me for a really, really good deal, because I've seen this item go for like 20, 30, 40, maybe even over $40 price range. And that could be new or loose. So I went ahead and got it. It was pretty inexpensive. Shipping could have been a little bit better, but you know, what are you gonna do? Also, I apologize. As soon as I decided, I got a little sidetracked. As soon as I decided to start recording, people are cutting grass outside. So hopefully I could talk over that the best way possible, and that won't really disrupt or ruin the video. But yes, we're looking at a pretty cool Burger King kids meal toy from 1998. Yes, Small Soldiers, Ocula. Yes, what's the official version of this? Well, we'll see the official version when I show the packaging, but yes, Ocula, who's a cool bendy toy. This character is from the Small Soldiers, a DreamWorks Small Soldiers movie, film that came out in 1998, 1 year before I was born. Yeah, I'm trying to think. My history, so I've always been a fan. I don't know the first time that I saw, show them like that. I'm not sure the first time I saw the movie, but I've seen it like twice this year. I've rewatched it twice, and I really, really enjoy it. Random, but like Small Soldiers, the Army Men video game franchise, which I'm going to start doing some Army Men oriented reviews on my TikTok page, and Toy Story. I kind of put them all in the same category. Like, of course, out of those three properties, Toy Story was the one to be the most successful. But of course, like the Small Soldiers originated as a movie. And like I said, Army Men could have got an animated series. It definitely was kind of set up to play out like a cartoon. But the Army Men series was solely just video games. But yeah, all three of those, like I said, properties all center around toys going on these crazy adventures. So I don't know. I just kind of put them all in the same category. But yes, Ocula is one of the Gorgonites, our creature characters in the film. If you've never seen Small Soldiers, currently it's free on YouTube. That's a lot to get into, but it's a really good movie. The puppetry and the toy sequences were done by the Stan Winston Company. Stan Winston created, I'm not sure if he solely created or designed the characters, but he did design our heroes, the Gorgonites, and our enemies, the Commando Elite. And I will show some of that when I open the packaging and mess with the little booklet and stuff like that. But if you can imagine, this property unfortunately didn't take off. There was a cartoon that was in the process of being put out around the time that the movie was released, but since the movie didn't do well financially, it didn't, they canceled it, which really, really sucks. Animated series would have been amazing, like with the Godzilla, the 90s Godzilla show, or what was another one? wasn't, or the Men in Black show. Like the possibilities were there, and it's such a shame. We did get some other material. We did get a book that was a continuation of the movie, which I've read, called Gorgonite's Quest. Someone uploaded the book on what is it called? Is it WhatsApp? Not WhatsApp. That's a messaging. It's gonna bother me. I can't remember the name of that reading app, but you can publish your own works on there. And Wattpad. I think WhatsApp, Wattpad. Yeah, someone uploaded on Wattpad and I read it. It's really good. If you're a fan. I'm trying to think. Like I said, it was a video game for the PlayStation 1. I played through that. I did a review on that on my TikTok page. There was a PC game, which was ironically kind of played like not an RPG. It's kind of like a strategy, turn-based strategy type of game. I think that's the genre, which ironically the early Army Men games played like that, and they were PC games. So kind of interesting. But yes, Small Soldiers, I'm trying to remember. Small Soldiers, oh man, it's gonna bother me. Commando Assault? Commander? Oh, Squad Commander. That's what it was. Small Soldiers Squad Commander. And that, again, was kind of like a continuation of the movie. Apparently, it took place in another town, like another town near the town that we saw in the movie. So we see a different team of Gorgonites and a different team of Commandos, which, again, really, really cool. I like that, just kind of expanding on the stories. I haven't played that yet, but I definitely want to get into it if I can get the game to work on my modern day computer. And there was a couple other things, like there was a board game that was released, and of course the big thing, we had a toy line. We had a Burger King kids meal toy line. Now the toy line, for whatever reason, all the villains didn't get figures. 2 out of the 6 villains didn't get figures. One of the figures became really, really rare due to a controversy that I think happened around the time that the toys were released. So really if you don't count the 4th character who was really hard to get a hold of, there's really only 3 villains that you can like go online and purchase right now, which kind of sucks. But all our Gorgonite heroes got figures, with the exception of Occula. Occula was like a little accessory that came with like a playset type of thing, but it was just this part, like the neck and the eye. The body, it didn't have a body attached to it, which, yeah, kind of sucks. So really, and unfortunately, this Occula was tall and lanky in the movie, kind of towered over the other characters. So unfortunately, Occula won't really scale with the mainline Small Soldier toys from Hasbro. But this technically is the only Occula toy that you can get. And for what it is, minus, like I said, not being in scale with the other characters, it's a really solid toy for what it is. This is probably one of the better, or if not the best, toy in the Burger King Small Soldier toy line, or set. So like I said, yeah, so this, if you want to complete your Gorgonites, this is your this is your best bet. And it's solid. It's solid. Like I said, but yeah, so in total there's like 7, 8 Gorgonites. There's a few minifigures and 2 characters, and 1 character who had a cameo in the movie, but he wasn't one of the main characters. So, and again, another thing, these, for the most part, you can find these for good deals loose, but they're pretty sought out. Like, they have a huge fan base. And kind of like with Hellboy merchandise, they're expensive. You know, some can be expensive. There's some that are really, really rare. But I do plan to build them up. Like, I will probably get them loose, honestly. And there's some listings I've been watching for a while. This will probably, I'm very big on when I buy a figure, I want my figure to be complete. I want it to be in good condition, because, you know, I'm going to display it, fiddle with it, mess with it, whatever. I might resell it to somebody, and if I resell it, I want it to be, you know, a product that's in good condition. So with these old figures, it's kind of like, I'll make it, because of the rarity, I'll make an exception to buy these guys loose. But over time, I would probably like try to buy them new, or buy their accessories that originally came with them, like kind of like what I did with my Generation 1 Transformers Devastator Constructicons. Certain, like I said, certain things you'll make an exception for. So the small soldier toys, I would make an exception to buy them loose. But yeah, like I said, Ocula's great. Like bendy limbs, all the legs can bend. You can see the eye can bend. I like the sculpt in the eye, bright green eye. It's kind of debatable if it's a boy or a girl. I think in the movie it was a boy, but some of the sub material refers to them as a girl. So I kind of like the idea of Ocula being a girl, because that would make Ocula and another character I would like to get, who I'll mention in a minute, the only 2 female members of the Gorgonite group team, and I think that's really cool. Give a little bit of diversity. But you can see, like I said, I love the sculpting on the joints. You see the sculpting on the joints look really nice, and the chest looks nice, and all like the skin detail, all the ridges and stuff that you can see. Like, you know, like when you bend parts of your body, and you see the skin texture, stuff like that, similar on this figure. And you see Ocula has suction cups, which is their gimmick. You can attach them to like glass, or attach them to like a hard surface. I attached them to my laptop to see if it worked, and it does. And that's a really cool feature. You can stick them anywhere, and you know, and have them plugged up somewhere. And I guess that's a really cool feature. Of course, there's some writing, made in China. Let's see, 1998, DreamWorks, and something else. And like I said, the characters' actual toes or fingers are molded, and then you see the suction cups surrounding it. And you can see the eye, like the detail, like where the eyeball would be, or the eyelid. That's really cool. And then they have lashes, but they're not painted. I have seen some people make customs of this figure, or they painted the eyelashes. So that I might do that. I'm an amateur when it comes to stuff like that, so I might paint the lashes at some point. But yeah, really charming. Like I said, I'm glad. If you decide to get this, new or loose, make sure the eye is in good condition. I've seen on some listings the eye has yellowed, like the clear piece has yellowed. And it does kind of add to the aesthetic of this character being like a weird creature, alien creature looking thing. But it does the figure's kind of ruined when it looks like that as well. So keep that in mind. I paid like $9 for this. And I've seen this go for like 20, 30, 40. So $9 free ship and handling. That was a steal. And like I said, when you see stuff like that, it's kind of good to hop on it. If you can, hop on it when you see it. Real quick, not a good size comparison, but here he is with my G1 Astrotrain, and you can see if I stand Ocula on one leg, they're taller than Astrotrain, but I wanted to give at least some sort of size comparison. But like I said, I love the Small Soldier storyline. I love the characters, all the character designs. It's just a shame that it didn't blow up. Like I said, we had the video games, we had the novel or the book that continued the story, and you know, we've had, you know, they made other things outside of just the movie that could kind of, like, the plan was to have this be a franchise, and it didn't happen. And I know in 2010 they were considering to reboot it, but that idea got canceled. You can Google that information if you're interested. There's an iceberg here on YouTube, a Small Soldiers iceberg that's very informative, gives a lot of good information, so I recommend that if you're interested when I know more stuff. There was a proof of concept trailer called Small Soldiers War of the Necron, which was advertised as being a mobile game. And people thought like, holy crap, Small Soldiers might be coming back. And we haven't really heard much of anything. The animation and the character designs looked amazing, and it was very well made, but we haven't heard anything. So yeah, don't know if anything is going to come of that situation. But I mean, we can continue to enjoy the film. Like I said, enjoy the game. Yes, it's a little bit dated. Ironically, it plays similarly to some of the Army Men video games. Again, a lot of Army Men similarities. But you know, it's a bit dated. It's fun, but it's a bit dated. And if you're not into old school PlayStation games, then it might not be for you. You know. But here is Oculus off to the side. I would show their gimmick, but I don't really have anything that I can really stick them to, so take my word for it. Here is the plastic. Cool. Small Soldier logo. The bag is not a toy. Please discard. Made in China, 1998, DreamWorks and Amblin, all rights reserved. Dope. So I always, for these type of things, I always make sure to keep the packaging, so I will keep everything that the character came with. Of course, my other rare Happy Meal toy is my my Energon Unicron. Let's see how they scale together. Which I got from Australia. So it's cool to have these two toys back when they made pretty solid Happy Meal toys. Again, I did a really interesting video on this. Like I said, I had to literally hunt to get this figure. Like, it's honestly one of the rarest items in my collection, solely for how difficult it was to get a hold of him. And it was a set. Those Transformer McDonald toys came in a set of 4. I got 3, so the other 2 were really rare as well, but I ended up selling them off to another collector. But yes, and then we have, take out the plastic, little booklet, Gorgonites. There's Archer, leader of the Gorgonites. Kind of a spoiler, because now you know who the good and the bad guys are. It says collect all the Commando Elite. And on the back, we have leader of the Commandos, Major Chip Hazard. Really cool antagonist. It says collect all the Gorgonites. Yeah, so yeah. Oh, sorry, I got distracted. So here is Ocula. I like the illustration. Levitating Ocula, and then here's a example of them attached to a surface. And it says, bend Ocula's legs and neck in any direction, place Ocula on glass, and its suction cup feet will hold it in place. Okay, that's cool. Collect all 12 toys. So honestly, yeah, I would collect, even the figures I don't really care for, I would collect all the toys. We have Archer, cool. We have Major Chip Hazard. We have, I think that's Kip Killigan, one of the Commandos. We have Insaniac, Slam Fist, who is a plushie, which I actually really like. Another Insaniac, which is more like a traditional action figure with a gimmick. We have, who's that at the bottom? We have Brick Bazooka. One of the vehicles that the Commandos made. We have Nick Nitro, who has a really cool gimmick. He explodes and all his pieces come off. Like I said, we have Chip. We have Scratch It and Punch It, who are like a little duo team. Scratch It, I plan her or Archer may be the next two I try to get. One of I choose Archer, I choose Scratch It, which will be an interesting video on itself. So I'll save that for when I do that video. And we have, like I said, yeah. So Scratch It and Punch It, and we have Ocula, then we have Link Static, another Commando, and then we have, which is really weird, we have Freakenstein and Butch Meathook. And Freakenstein's on top of him. Yeah, that toy could have been done a little bit better. But again, this is cool. This is a piece of the franchise's history, you know. I dig it. But yeah, that honestly is it, you guys. Like I said, I just am so infatuated with this franchise. I wish that TV show happened, or we get some type of continuation, some type of reboot of some sort, of proper reboot. Especially, like I said, people have wanted, like, hey, how come no toy line? I mean, we don't know all the ins and outs of who owns the property and all that stuff. But it's like, why hasn't a toy line been made? Like, a company get the license and make modern posable action figures, of these figures for adult collectors or something. There are people who do 3D printing. There are people who've made their own fan figures, and like I said, they've completed the team of Commandos, or made modern versions of like the Gorgonites and stuff like that. But for the average person who's just a toy collector and is not into all that, you're kind of at a disadvantage. Like I said, we get all the Gorgonites, but they're like almost 30-year-old action figures. Then, like I said, only 4 out of the 6 Commandos got toys. So you're missing two main Commando characters, which is a bummer. Yeah, like I said, Link and Butch Meathook did not get action figures, but they're in this Burger King toy line. But like I said, they're gimmicky, like little gimmicky toys. They're not like a traditional action figure. So I don't know, kind of a bummer, but I will enjoy collecting the Gorgonites, and eventually I'll get my hands on the Commandos. And never know, I've had people make customs for me before, so I might have someone make me customs of those characters who didn't get proper toys. But yeah, if you're interested in this franchise, or just think this is a cool looking toy that you'd like to have in your collection, I recommend it. You can find it on YouTube, eBay, and Mercari. But yeah, that's it for this video. Like I said, next video might be on Scratch It or Archer, maybe, or it might be something different, TikTok or something. So stay tuned for that. As far as my Army plans, I started, as of this recording, excuse me, I started my tutoring yesterday, and that went well for the most part. Still a little intimidating, getting reacquainted with information you haven't studied, and excuse me, something in my mouth, that you haven't studied in like some years. So hopefully all that plays out, and like I said, if I have an update for you all, I'll give you an update on how that's going. But yeah, like, comment, share, and stay tuned for more. Peace, you guys.